Hi Jerry, Daphne here again. Really good to be working with you. I'm really sorry, as I've said before, you didn't get the score you wanted in your exam. But I'm very glad to help you keep practicing, keep working through this essay pack, give you more practice, give you more feedback, get you ready for retaking it. What I strongly suggest, Jerry, is that you go back to the course. I think you still have access to it. You should have. If not, let me know. Because for me, the organisation of the essay is not as good as it should be. You need to go back to the template. You need to choose the elements from the template that you like. You don't have to have every word of it, but it serves a very important purpose. What it does is organise your essay. So for me, the coherence on this is not as good as it could be. It's a little bit disjointed. I'd like to see a more structured essay here. Go back to the template, look at it again, watch some of those videos again, just refresh your memory, get your kind of IELTS brain going again. So nowadays, some argue democracy is under its biggest threat since its inception. Some argue global capital markets has due to the electorate's lost control. This is a really tough essay. Unlikely you would get something political, but excuse me, good practice. Democracy has been proven to be an unperfect political system. We say imperfect, I-M, but nice start, imperfect political system due to, yet whether the defects have existed since democracy was born or they appeared after globalization, okay, has been increasingly debatable. Interesting. This essay will argue that democracy has a lethal disadvantage while capitalism makes the problem worse these days by including examples of Brexit. Okay. So this essay will argue, what you have to go is, I believe that. You need another sentence in here, your opinion, before this essay. So I believe that whilst democracy benefits people, benefits the voters by allowing independence, this system can be, well, sorry, the system is not always dependable. You need some kind of sentence in here with your opinion, yeah, and then this essay will argue. Okay, nice. To begin with, the fatal drawback of democracy is that everyone has equal right, power, and obligation to vote and have an influence on public. Okay, now this is your opinion, and it's a very, very strong question. So critics suggest that you absolutely must distance yourself here. Otherwise, it's going to come across as a really opinionated essay, which is not what we're after. So just modify this here. Okay. Such regulation has a good intention to empower all civilians and bring equality. You need a noun there. To each and every one of them. Okay, however, the designers of democracy may have, so again, very important, this distancing, suggesting, ignore that not every person is well educated. In other words, many people who have no idea of the consequence or meaning of proposals you don't need but, so many people who have no idea can still vote for whichever option, you need another word there, looks or sounds the most appealing, would be better than the best. Okay. The real example, a recent example is the British referendum, which led, relative clause, to the UK leaving the EU, but ironically, according to BBC News, many British people did not know what it meant. Okay, did not. I would just simplify here. Did not fully appreciate the implications of this this vote, or just the implications. Okay, voted to leave just for fun is really not right. Not right because it's a very personal comment, and also not right because it's not high enough level. Okay, so this would be a higher level way of saying it. Okay, implications of this vote. Yeah, so that's a very nice paragraph. Well done there. Good work. Now, what is more, a higher level for IELTS would be additionally. The problem has often been worsened. Worsened because of capitalism. Okay, so present perfect here, nice passive, scoring well on the grammar. In the past, population was not very large while science was not very developed. Okay, I mean, we could upgrade this, couldn't we? In the past, a smaller population. Okay, in the past, start with this. Many people received only a moderate education due to the size of the population and underdeveloped science. Change that whole thing around. However, nowadays, children, lower class people can only go to public schools where they usually have a relaxing childhood but might not acquire a lot of knowledge. Meanwhile, upper class parents are able to afford private schools and other expensive education, which means their children have a far now, are we talking about capitalism or capital markets? Now, we're talking about capital markets. Okay, this is not the same as capitalism, remember. Okay, capitalism is the power of the stock markets and the power of big business. Okay, so you're talking about capitalism, which is slightly different. That's the ability to kind of make money and thrive. So this whole paragraph for me, here you need to be talking about the power of capital markets. So I think you just rewrite that paragraph or rethink that paragraph for you. So you're talking about the governments who realise that the businesses have a lot of power and are influenced by business rather than influenced by making the right decision. For example, if you take sugar in foods, the supermarkets have a very important voice, and the governments listen to the supermarket, not listen to the health experts. That is where you want to be going on this. The biggest problem happens to be its foundation, which is equality. Don't use that in IELTS. Empowering those who are not wise enough to influence politics would damage the democracy itself in return. And then you would have to have capital markets can worsen the situation because of their enormous powerful influence. You want to put influence, power, to persuade, those sort of things when we're talking about capital markets. So it's the stock markets, really. And the banking system. It's super hard essay. I really don't want you to worry. There's lots of good things in there, Jerry. Really, really, really nice. I think this paragraph is not quite so good. I mean, you're off topic, but even so, it just feels a bit repetitive. This paragraph is a nice one. So good work there. Go back to the course, please, and just really look at the coherence, organisation. I think that will help you a lot. Yeah, sorry, the graphics on this aren't good, are they? But we're looking at car ownership and then specifically VW owners. Two pie charts illustrate the percentage of 3 different car ownership modes in England and Scotland. Excuse me. The bar chart demonstrates, so you could have while the bar chart illustrates. Overall, it's prevalent by private cars in England and Scotland. In addition, more Scottish people don't use in addition. That's more like task 2. Just keep going. More Scottish people chose to buy VWs when compared to English people in a given period. Okay? Just go and. In 1995, half of English people bought cars, while the percentage for Scotland was 65%. In contrast, car sharing was not popular in the nations. Okay, or was the least popular purchase option. Okay, but very nice otherwise, looking good. Okay, so you've got a was not popular. What I've done is put a superlative in there, so that would help me on the grammar marks. Similarly, only 15% of Scottish people fancied leasing car, fancied leased cars. Yeah, okay, or opted for leased cars as opposed to really good, great grouping there. In terms of VW, the number of sales in Scotland was between in a given year with ups and downs. With I would say rather than that, some notable variations, and then you're going to tell me what they are. So that's more sophisticated than ups and downs. In 1990, 900,000 VW owners in England. From when point in time, the numbers of which kept shrinking. Good. Then, why don't you listen and join this together before rising again to a number 5 times larger 3 years later? That's a very, very nice answer. Good, very solid on that task one. That's excellent, Jerry. Well done. Okay, good work on those two. You've got the next ones. Take your time to look at the corrections, look at elements of the course, and then I look forward to getting your next ones. Well done.